Hello and welcome back to the Escape Pod. Thank you for escaping with us. That's Alex. I'm Andrew.
And as always, with great power comes great xenomorph ability. That's right, Alien Romulus is out in theaters as of tomorrow. Is this coming out today or tomorrow?
Today or tomorrow.
So go see Alien Romulus. We're going to be reviewing that later on in this episode. But first, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the hoodies. Yes, these are obviously very new designs from the podcast logos. This is based on my favorite moment of Deadpool and Wolverine, where you saw the Wolverine in the brown suit fighting the Hulk. Yours is obviously commemorating that Robert Downey Jr., our glorious king, who used to play Iron Man, will now be playing Dr. Doom. Obviously, we did have quite a bit of problems. Unfortunately, we are no longer with the company we were with to do that. It's just so many things went wrong, whether it was their fault or our fault or everybody's fault. So because of that, and because we love you guys so much, and obviously we felt that was extremely unacceptable, we have refunded everybody we've had communication with. Anybody that still doesn't have their merch, we're happy to refund you. And if you could, how should they message us?
Patreon, Discord, Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, we can't apologize enough for how the merch went. And so we are with a completely new company, Fourth Wall. The link is in our bio, and it's going to allow us to do a whole lot more merch and merch a whole lot differently. And that's what we're doing. Right now, we only have hoodies on there. We have the two Deadpool and Wolverine hoodies, the red and the tan. And then we have your Dr. Doom Iron Man hoodie. We've got this hoodie on there, and we've got an Alien Romulus hoodie with face huggers on the mugs. It's very cool. All of those designs done by Drew Whipple. And now they're on Fourth Wall. You're going to be receiving your stuff in, I think, 5 to 11 days is the timeline they give you. Yeah, so new company, and we really appreciate all of y'all that have bought merch in the past, and we appreciate all y'all that buy merch in the future. We love you a lot. Alien Romulus hoodies are only going to be up for the month of August.
Yep, just this month.
Yes.
Limited edition.
Yes, there you go. So thank you guys so much.
So before we get to Alien Romulus,
yes,
lots of news.
Yes, this is why this episode is coming out so early. Really.
Yeah, so this episode, you will not be getting an episode on Monday,
correct,
most likely. So this is why this one's coming out early.
Yes.
D23 happened. We were there. We saw all the announcements, not live, but we saw them afterwards, and we got some stuff to talk about.
Yes.
What do you want to talk about first?
What would you like to talk about first? I say we just get all the Marvel out of the way, because I thought Marvel was pretty tame at D23.
Sure.
We got some looks at.
You want to go back and forth with some news?
Sure.
What's your first piece of news?
Did you see the look of Florence Pugh in the Thunderbolts?
I saw a little bit.
In her new haircut. A lot of people are happy about it. A lot of people are upset. I think she looks really good.
Yeah, she looks good. She looks good. My piece of news, we got more of a look at Red Hulk.
Yes. Yeah.
What'd you think?
It looks good.
It looks okay. I still think Incredible Hulk looked better.
Yes. Yes.
You don't think it looks CGI-y?
Of course it does, but the whole MCU looks CGI now.
I know, which is stupid.
What's more glaring to me for that Red Hulk shot is that I think the background looks like CGI as well.
So funny.
I'm sorry. I just like it looks like a whole CGI-ness, you know. So I don't love it. You think it looks bad? The Red Hulk.
I just compare it to, like, it looks like the Hulk that we've gotten recently, so it doesn't look worse.
Yeah.
But I still am just like, what? Like, yeah, I think back in the day it looked better.
What's the best looking Hulk we've ever gotten in the MCU?
Incredible Hulk.
Really? Over Avengers 1?
Yeah, that one looked pretty good.
Avengers 1 looks incredible.
Yeah, I think I like the design of Incredible Hulk better, though.
And Ultron looks really good.
So when do you think it went bad?
Later. But it looks really good in Ragnarok.
Does it?
Yeah. I think so.
I think Incredible Hulk looks better. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Some people are complaining that it looks too much like Harrison Ford. I'm like, I like to be able to tell that it looks like the person.
I do too.
I think that's cool.
I love that the Ruffalo Hulk looks like Ruffalo. Yeah. Even before he's smart. I think it looks a lot like Ruffalo, and I love that.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we got to see it in the movie. It could be early on, you know what I'm saying?
You got another piece?
Yeah, of course. We got I got to see live the Fantastic Four score, the theme. Very retro, very nice. I think it looks great. The logo's great. They showed the same footage that they showed at Comic-Con again. Everything Fantastic Four looks pretty good, but obviously the biggest piece of news for the Fantastic Four is the Johnny Storm suit with the white sleeves. Did you see that suit?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks classic, right?
I don't love the black. There's a little bit too much black in that suit for me. And I wish it was just a white collar. Why did the sleeves have to be white? But to be honest, I don't think that's going to be the final suit. Or any, like, I think that's just going to be a one-off.
I went to a Marvel animation panel.
Yeah.
And they showed some stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if, I don't think that's been released. They were very vigilant about walking through the thing. And like there were reporters I was sitting next to, and they had their laptops open, and they were making everyone close their laptops.
Fascinating.
It was interesting. So here are my opinions on that. Obviously, they talked about X-Men 97 season 2. They brought out Cal Dodd, who is Wolverine, and they brought out Rogue. Cool. And they were talking, and that was interesting. They literally had just started animating like that week, or so they had like 2 second clips to show. So nothing there, but they were talking about how they were excited about it. And then obviously the final season of What If. Yeah. They had some clips to show from that. There's going to be an episode where it's basically Power Rangers.
Like they're in Zords?
They're all in big Iron Man suits that all come together for a big Iron Man suit to fight like giant Hulk creatures.
I'm happy it's the final season of What If.
I'm higher on What If season 1 than most people. Never finished season 2. So we'll see. And then, so obviously X-Men 97, very exciting. And then What If, a little bit exciting, sure. And so then the 2 new ones were Eyes of Wakanda, I believe is what it was called. And then the Spider-Man freshman year show or whatever.
Yeah.
I think both of those look incredibly mid.
Oh. What's your beef with the Spider-Man show?
So, well, the Eyes of Wakanda show, it's an interesting concept. It's like Wakanda through time, points of time. So it's not one...
That's interesting.
It's kind of like a What If thing where it's different. That's how they described it anyways. The clip they showed, I don't know. It looks like a Disney Junior show in the way it's animated. I'm not too fond of the animation for some reason. And then nothing about it just seemed interesting to me. I don't know. And then the same thing for the Spider-Man freshman year. Like they showed a clip, and people were tweeting about this, about how Peter becomes Spider-Man in that show. It's obviously extremely different. His costume is different. His relationship with Norman Osborn is different. Like Norman Osborn knows he's Spider-Man and is like his mentor, like his guy in the chair. And then the way that he gets bitten is a spider comes through a dimensional portal. I think that Doctor Strange and a Venom symbiote comes through, and then the spider, when the portal closes, the spider drops onto him. And then there's a lot of other different characters, like there's no MJ or Ned or Flash that I know of and stuff like that. So very, very different. They obviously have to do something different. They've done Spider-Man 5,000 times, so it's got to be something different. And then they showed a fight scene. And I don't know, the whole time I was just like, I'm the biggest Spider-Man guy in the world. And I was like...
Interesting.
Maybe it'll be peak, but what I saw wasn't necessarily. It's just different. And the animation also was just like, whatever. The opening was cool. It was like a mix between the old, like, Spider-Man, like, 90s one or whatever, and then, like, that's how it started, and then it kind of got, like, hip-hoppy and, like, something. So it was like a remix of it. So that the intro was pretty cool.
All right.
And then my favorite part of it was the Marvel Zombies. What If style. Yes. That was one of my... I liked What If Season 1, and the first... One of my favorite episodes in Season 1 of What If is the Zombies episode. And what a cool concept, having superheroes fight zombies. Why have we not gotten that before, or more of that? And they showed some clips of that. The clips were all right. But it's like a 4-part series, and it's TVMA. So it will be a little bit more adult, which is interesting. So
Interesting. Interesting. All right. That's pretty much all the Marvel stuff. We covered everything, right? We'll move on to
Disney Pixar.
Sure, Disney Pixar.
Sure.
Toy Story 5.
Yeah.
Which we already knew was happening. Obviously, everybody, I feel like, has talked about Toy Story 5. We know that the concept is children now enraptured in their devices versus toys. I like that a lot. We hate Toy Story 4, but considering it's like a commentary on kids and their screens, like, does this justify its own existence?
I don't think anything justifies any existence for the Toy Story franchise after Toy Story 3 unless you're doing spin-offs. So, no.
Okay.
But the concept of toys versus the electronics and like that kind of commentary is super interesting and makes me like it a little bit more. I think that's a very cool concept for them to tackle.
I think it's a great concept, and I think it does justify its own existence. I do disagree with you there, just based on the concept. But have you seen Woody's just in Bonnie's room in the concept art?
Yeah,
how'd they get him back?
Yeah, Woody's back.
I guess that's a good... So they may be retconning Toy Story 4, which would be phenomenal.
No.
Why wouldn't they do that? Just kill
all I
it.
care... I'm
like
just wondering, like, is Bo Peep back?
Oh.
I'm not asking for any particular reason. But is Bo Peep back?
Is that questionable?
I'm just kidding.
I'm just trying to think.
Is Andy's mom back? I'm just asking.
I hope so.
I'm just wondering.
I certainly hope so.
For no particular reason.
No.
Yeah.
But Pixar moms just...
I'm just kidding.
Sure.
Is Mrs. Potato Head back?
We're just trying to know.
Oh, I'm just wondering, like, is Mrs. Potato Head returning?
This is the kind of
to the
scoops we're looking
franchise?
for. Discussing film, you know?
Yeah.
Miss Potato Head?
Anyways,
Sorry.
we got our first look at Stitch.
Live action.
He's cute.
It looks good.
Hallelujah.
It looks good.
Oh my gosh, he looks good.
I'm thrilled it looks so good.
Yeah, dude, I want to freaking cuddle him
There's
so bad.
so many ways you messed that up, and I don't think they messed it up. It looks good.
Cuddle the F out of him, dude.
It looks perfect, right? Like, what's the problems that we could have with it?
Not the fact that they're doing it.
I'm interested to see antennas and
and
four
the
arms.
6 arms.
Yeah, or it's 6 because if you cut the legs.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see what that looks like. But right now, he looks cute. He looks like a dog, and he's cute.
And the voice and the
He said the N-word though.
Yeah, he's racist a little bit, but it's all right. He doesn't know our ways. He's an alien. We got to teach him. They're probably racist in outer space. Like, he doesn't know any better.
That's an interesting take. I'm interested to see how the supporting cast looks, like Pleakley and Jumba. Let's see how they look.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet that says, "I don't care how Stitch looks, Nani better have a fat ass."
Hey, Stitch needs to be singing some Elvis.
100%.
I need the glittery jacket, guitar, slicked hair look for
Don't
the
change
live action.
that. Don't change that. Keep it Elvis. Keep it Elvis. Keep it Elvis. They're going to make it. They're going to change it, and it's going to be...
What is it going to be, Machine Gun Kelly? What the frick? Don't do that. Don't touch it.
Don't do that.
No.
Just keep it Elvis. Elvis is a really nice touch.
Queen would be interesting. But it needs to be Elvis.
But then he's got a mustache.
Yeah. Ew. Ew.
That would be fun. I like that. You've sold
He's singing Bohemian Rhapsody, dude.
We've got a lot of sequels going on, and not that this is still Disney or Pixar or animation or this or that. Incredibles 3, which Incredibles 3, like Incredibles 2 at the time of it coming out was like the highest grossing animated movie of all time, or in the top 5 or something. Like, Incredibles 2 was a huge financial success. We knew we were going to get an Incredibles 3, and we knew it wasn't going to take 15 years to get an Incredibles 3. My only thing is, please, for the love of God, give us a fight scene in Edna's house.
That'd be cool.
Please. That house is awesome.
And I wanted her to act like Aunt May acts in Into the Spider-Verse, where she's like, "Not in the living room, boys," and she's just like walking around like no capes.
Yes.
Dude, and she's just like commentating on the fight scene. That'd be sick.
Yes.
You know what I want?
Huh.
I really want them to be a little older. It'd be interesting. Wait for me. You know, Helen and Bob are a little bit older. Maybe Dash and Vi are like college age, maybe out of the house or about to be out of the house. And like there's a scene where all the Incredibles are, you know, Dash, Vi, Bob, and Helen are in trouble, and they're about to die. And they're like, he's got to show up. And then teenage Jack shows up and absolutely dog wipes everybody.
Interesting.
I want him to be like Gojo Sotaro in JJK, where like everyone's like, well, he's the fastest person in the world, except for Gojo, except for Jack. Like Jack just show up, and like he's in like a trench coat or something, and like just a silhouette of teenage Jack comes in, and like Dash is about to die, and he's like, "Where's Jack?"
Interesting. You want like a major time jump.
I want to see it. I want to see them at a different age. Wouldn't it be so cool?
I don't know. I don't think I want a time jump.
Oh, it'd be so funny. Jack like is in control of his power, and he's like an angsty teenager, but can like kill anyone on the planet. That'd be so sick.
That's so interesting.
That'd be so sick.
I don't think I want a time jump.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
That would be cool. Maybe for Incredibles 4. I kind of like the dynamic.
No, I do. But like, imagine.
Yeah. What did you think of the Screenslaver as a villain for Incredibles 2?
It was fine.
Fine, I agree.
I've only seen it once.
Oh, I saw it twice in theaters. I really liked it. I hope this movie is great. I hope that this movie is significantly better than Incredibles 2. And also, another threequel that we got is Avatar Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
Avatar 3.
Yeah.
It's going to be, now they're investigating, they're learning from the ways of the fire people, the fire Na'vi. And that's interesting, except for the fact that, we've done this now twice before. So my question to you is, which third movie are you more excited for that was announced at D23? Incredibles 3 or Avatar Fire and Ash?
I believe it would be impossible for me personally and disrespectful to my inner child Andrew to not pick Incredibles 3. Incredibles was my favorite animated movie for a very, very long time.
Yes.
I watched it after The Avengers. It is my second most watched movie ever.
Wow, yeah.
I can quote that movie pretty much. And I did like Incredibles too. I love Avatar as well. I love Way of Water.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's tough to not say Incredibles.
That's interesting. I don't hate that take. I may say Avatar, though, because this is how I feel about these two franchises, respectively. Incredibles is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. It is without question one of my top 20 favorite movies of all time. It is without question my favorite animated movie of all time that isn't the two Spider-Verse movies. And Incredibles 2 is kind of mid. I think Avatar 1 is mid. I don't think it's a great movie. But I think Avatar: The Way of Water is one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's easily the best movie of 2022. So that's what I'm saying is it's like
Incredibles went down.
Incredibles is peak and then went down, and Avatar was fine and then became peak.
I see what you're saying.
Where I kind of trust them to keep it going. And something that James Cameron specifically said, I don't know if he said this at D23, I doubt he was there, but is that he said that the emotional stakes are higher. That very much interests me because for whatever reason, I fucking love this Na'vi family. I love Jake Sully. I love Neytiri. I just really fell in love with them as
in Way of Water for sure.
In Way of Water. I totally bought Jake Sully as the leader of this tribe.
And the kids.
Totally bought Neytiri as this lunatic.
Oh, she's gonna go psycho.
When she's about to kill Spider, that was awesome.
That was crazy.
Like, and I love the family, and they already lost their son. And
Helen or Neytiri? Since we're comparing movies.
Helen. Like, I love Neytiri, but it's Helen. It's not even close.
All right. So I want to talk about this. They showed a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs trailer.
Yes, they did.
And so one thing stuck out to me. The music, it looks very magical, and the music and everything. I thought it was an unbelievably interesting choice to make the dwarves, they used Play-Doh instead of doing CGI. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Oh.
To roast their CGI.
Yeah.
You looked at me as if like I was being serious.
I was like, is that really prosthetics?
No.
Yeah.
It looks like Play-Doh.
It's an interesting choice to do that instead of just making them just regular people. Right?
It looks bad. Doesn't look. It looks. I mean, it looks weird.
I think it looks really bad.
I just want to like. I want to squeeze them and see if they're really there.
Yeah, I just didn't like the look either. I'm with you entirely there. What's your take on Rachel Zegler? Obviously a very controversial individual.
She said some stupid stuff,
yeah,
but she might be able to sing well.
She is tremendously talented.
I liked her in Songbirds.
Yeah?
She was good in that, right?
Yeah.
That was her, yeah. Yeah, she did some interviews and was a little pretentious and stupid. But, you can chalk that up. I'm dying.
Yeah, sorry.
You can... I think a face hugger implanted me. You can chalk that up to her being pretentious, or you can chalk it up to her being stupid. Either way, it was like years ago. And we'll have to see the movie.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? But I guess that's fine. I mean, I've never seen any of the live actions. On
a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you actually think they used Play-Doh?
5, 6, maybe. Honestly, probably 8.
That's how you know it looks really bad.
It looks really bad.
When I make a joke about Play-Doh and you think it might be real.
It's a stylistic, artistic choice. Just animate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to make people look weird, just make Mutant Mayhem, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can make the same argument about The Lion King. Like, why did you just... If all of it's animated anyways, really.
Speaking of Lion King.
Mufasa!
That concept is not good.
Which concept?
That Mufasa's a stray?
Yeah.
I saw a tweet that I thought was really interesting, and it said, I would care infinitely more about this if this was animated. Like, a Mufasa prequel seems like a knockout of the park no matter what the concept is if it's animated and you choose characters that can emote. Because actual real-life lions cannot.
Yeah, I was all for the Mufasa movie when they first announced it, and now the trailers have had the opposite effect of what they're supposed to do, and they have made me less excited, not more excited.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't look that interesting, the whole trailer, but then also the concept of, like, so you're just retconning the fact that, like, oh, you're just, so Scar is right, is what you're saying. Scar was right?
It kind of feels like that, doesn't
like, that's what you're doing? I don't know, you have to wait and see the movie, but, like...
Doesn't mean Scar has the right to kill his brother.
No.
But, like... Yeah, if he's the actual kid,
and like a stray takes your place, like, I'd consider murder.
I wouldn't, but
you would. If you were a lion, you would.
Maybe.
You only think you're gonna be a giraffe. That's why you're saying that.
That's true.
You only have one choice when it comes to the safari, and it ain't a lion, brother. Yeah. So the trailers don't look good.
Yeah. Right.
You know what does look good?
Huh?
Monsters Inc. ride at frickin'
yeah.
Hollywood Studios.
Let's move to the Disney rides.
Yeah.
The Monsters Inc. ride looks great.
First suspended roller coaster at Disney. I've always loved suspended roller coasters.
Yeah.
They're always some of my favorites. Batman at Six Flags,
Yeah.
and then Universal used to have the Dueling Dragons. That
Yeah.
used to be my favorite roller coaster ever.
Yeah.
I hope we don't get too excited. I hope they don't come out and they're like, "Hey, suspended roller coaster," and then it's like, you know, Slinky Dog Dash, where it's like everyone was excited for this, and you still somehow made it a kids ride. Give us another rock and roller coaster. You have enough stuff for kids. Make it like
interesting.
Make it awesome.
You don't think? I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be for kids.
I'm gonna kill myself. That's a little dramatic.
Interesting. I kind of like the kid hybrids. Like, I love the Seven Dwarfs ride.
We've had. There's so many of those.
There are a million of them.
There's,
yeah.
you know how popular Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster are.
That's true. They are getting rid of Rock and Roller Coaster, aren't they?
They have not confirmed that yet.
That is not D23 news, though. We'll move on to some more D23 news. What do you think about Villains Land?
Yeah.
You know what they're going to do, right?
Make a land of villains.
Pull the lever, Crump!
No, I literally had that written down.
They
the
have
Monsters
to.
Inc. ride, they don't have to. They don't. You know how many villains there are that are better than Yzma? Or more popular than Yzma?
But Yzma's whole shtick is it's a roller coaster. Like,
yeah,
you have to do that.
Yeah, I literally said if they're gonna do a Monsters Inc. roller coaster, like about the doors, that's actually like a concept that us fans would come up with. Like, oh, that looks like a roller coaster. They have a roller coaster in Emperor's New Groove. Make it.
Yes. Make it in Villains Land.
And don't give me hope.
Right, it's
Don't give me hope.
perfect. That's the big adult roller coaster, because that's a property that kids don't remember. It's just for people our age at this point. Like,
I would bet a lot of money that they don't do that.
oh, but they should.
It's going to be Ursula and Maleficent and the Evil Queen and Gaston. It's going to be all them.
Ursula's definitely going to have one of those. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be the Ursula ride, another ride for children.
The Gaston ride should be only women get in, and then they just get harassed.
Yes. But some of them, a lot of them probably are with it. But then every once in a while, there's a girl that's like really into books, and she's not with it in the slightest.
Oh, and then they make a movie about her.
Yes.
Falling in love with a dog or something.
Is he a dog?
No, he's a beast.
What animal is the beast closest
He's gotta be like
closest
a bear.
related to?
He's got to be a bear.
But he's got a mane. I feel like he's more
You
lion
think he's closer to a lion?
than a bear.
No, he stands up on his hind legs and walks around.
But he's like a lion. He's like an anthropomorphic lion.
He's kind of like a werewolf. He's a fat werewolf.
He is kind of like a werewolf.
He's a big boned werewolf.
Has he put on weight? Is he fat? I don't think he's fat.
He's not fat, but he's like, werewolves are normally like wolf size.
Skinny. Like Harry Potter.
Well, Harry Potter, that's mad skinny, but like.
That werewolf looks like me. I'm surprised I don't get that comparison.
That's like a skinwalker werewolf. Yeah, it's kind of gross looking. But, yeah, Gaston ride. Yeah, they obviously wouldn't really do that. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, the meet and greets for Gaston, where girls are like, ooh. Like, the whole point is, like, he's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, he's awful to women.
Yes. He's like the worst dude.
And like the dumbest people in Beauty and the Beast are the girls that are like, Gaston! Yes. And then like people come to the park, so they're like, I'm gonna be that. Why?
Have you seen the video of the Gaston at Disneyland being harassed by a woman?
And he's like, you're gone.
It's a great video. Good
she tried to like touch his chest.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not allowed.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Ursula would have an interesting ride.
No, it's just gonna be this.
Yeah, interesting. Not good.
Oh.
Scar, Wildebeest run. You could do something with that.
Fun. Be prepared.
Be prepared.
You got the geysers.
I don't think there's a good ride you could do with Mother Gothel. You could do a lot of experiences. An up and down? No.
Why not? It's the tower.
That's lame. That doesn't make sense.
With Rapunzel's hair.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay. I'll go fuck myself then.
Go F your own face.
Lion King, you could do the hyenas and you're running through them in a roller coaster in the elephant bones.
Graveyard?
The elephant graveyard.
Cool. Well, it's like a 4D like Spider-Man Transformers from Universal.
They don't do too many screen rides.
They don't. They do a lot of dark rides where you're just going to sit there.
Yeah. What's
it? Hades? Dr. Facilier? Anything we could do with those?
Friends on the Other Side could be fun.
None of those are like...
I hate to bring it up, but we're talking about rides. What a missed opportunity with Tiana, making Splash Mountain Tiana and not doing bum, 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 bum. Are you ready? As you're going up.
They might do that.
They didn't for the current Splash Mountain. It takes place after the movie, so it's just extremely positive, the whole movie, the whole ride. Rachel wrote it yesterday, who told me how disappointing it is.
I will be going opening day for the Monsters, Inc. ride.
Vlog?
Yeah, we could vlog it for the Patreon.
Yeah, what other rides? Yeah, but Villain's Land, I mean, it's endless possibilities, but at the end of the day, we're just going to get a regular Captain Hook pirate ride.
Oh, Captain Hook, yeah. Yeah,
this could be
maybe like a boat experience. I don't know. You know, some of their lands, like I think Star Wars Land is kind of eh. I think there are parts of it that are good, but I was a little disappointed. But the Pandora is the best thing ever.
Yes, but there's only 2 rides.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't think there's going to be a lot of rides. A lot of time they do lands and there's like one ride.
Right. You're right. There's only going to be like 3 rides. That's so disappointing. Disney, give us more. You have all
they
that.
Give us a lot. We got the Indiana
land.
Jones ride coming. We got Zootopia thing coming.
Yeah.
We got Encanto. We got a little ride experience coming. So I'm excited for all that. And we're getting a Pandora out here at Disneyland, and it's based on the fire. Or no, Way of Water. It's based on Way of Water.
Good. I didn't know that. That's great news.
And then we're getting a Stark Industries flight simulator ride thing, and then we're getting the Avengers ride. They better not be mid.
You hear that for Monsters, Inc. Land, they're getting rid of the Hollywood Studios, the Muppet area?
See, we're not going to put that energy into the world.
Isn't that terrible?
We're going to move on now.
You didn't know that?
No, I did.
Isn't that awful?
I have chosen not to bring it up so that it's not... We don't need this energy here.
They're also getting rid of Star
I'm going to have
Tours.
to go get some crystals.
Can I say something crazy?
Dispel this energy.
I'm going to say something that you might not agree with, but you also might agree with. I think Star Tours captures the Star Wars ambiance, like the feel of Star Wars, better than Batuu.
Sure. I'll give you that.
Just like the AT-AT, and you're in Endor, walking into it, and then you're...
In Hollywood Studios.
Yes, and then you're on it, and you're like, and C-3PO's there and R2-D2's there, and then you're like walking by, and then you see like people walking by like in the shadows, and you see real Star Wars characters like Ayla Secura's in there, and like you see a couple Twi'leks and this and that. It just feels like
in the
Star
actual
Wars.
ride, you get to experience things that are happening in the movies, as opposed to a completely brand new land that has a cantina in it, and it's not Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
You know how much of a middle finger that is to me? Like, that's so annoying to me. That we would love to experience Tatooine and Mos Eisley, and you give us a cantina and it's Olga's. I don't care.
Yeah, that's
or Olga's
super
or whatever
fair.
Yeah, anyways. What the frick were we talking about before?
In the D23 news. What other major news do we have?
There's some, Pandora.
Oh, there's some.
The Avengers ride.
Yeah.
King Thanos, it's a universe jumping.
It's multiverse.
Dimension
Yeah, that's fun.
Thing, with King Thanos in it.
Yeah.
It better be better than the Spider-Man ride they gave us.
The Spider-Man ride is not good.
Like you have the MCU.
Yeah.
And the only good ride you've given us since the MCU started is the Guardians ride,
is Tower of Terror.
Which is Tower of Terror. You just converted it.
Well,
it's one of my favorite rides ever, but
I'm actually not going to give that to you.
What?
Epcot's Guardians of the Galaxy is phenomenal.
Sure, 2 Guardians rides.
You're right, though.
And that Guardians ride isn't even in an Avengers campus land. It's just randomly attached to Epcot.
In Epcot, yeah.
Like, you have Avengers campus.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, we get to see Spider-Man swing in the air. And, like, they do a great job of, like, bringing new characters. Like, as soon as Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, we get to meet Deadpool. That stuff is good. But you give us the Spider-Man ride, which I'm me. I won't even stand and ride for that for that ride anymore.
No, absolutely not.
And they're doing a new Spider-Man ride, but it's in like Disney Shanghai. They're getting a new Spider-Man ride or something.
Wow, good for
them.
them.
And it looks cool because like Dr. Octopus is actually in the concept art.
Oh, fun.
Crazy. A villain that we could see him fight in the ride, as opposed to these random robots that you sell in the gift shop where we just go like this for 5 minutes.
That shit is so boring.
It's such a cool idea to like actually be able to thwip and see it on screen. I was so excited when I first saw it. And after the first ride, I was like, okay, I'm never going to ride that again. It was fun.
Never.
All right, sorry. Anyways, moving on. Any other Disney Pixar? I got a couple.
No, go.
I don't know if you know this. After all the D23 news, I did not see this until I did some research. We're getting our first ever Pixar series.
Is Monsters at Work not Pixar?
I don't know, but this was described as the first ever Pixar series. That's a great question. Did Disney Animation do that or something? It's called Win or Lose. It does not look good, but who knows? Who knows?
It says it's a part of the Pixar franchise.
Sure, maybe I'm tripping. That's just how it was said to me on the website. No, in the trailer, it's like first ever Pixar series. Original series, maybe. Not a spin-off. Maybe that's what it was. So anyways, just thought that was interesting because that was a piece of news that I totally missed.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all.
Speaking of Pixar.
Yeah.
New Pixar movie announced. Hopper.
Yeah.
Ready?
I saw a little bit about this, yeah.
The story follows a young girl, Mabel, who can transfer her mind into a robot beaver. With the goal of going undercover in the animal kingdom, she winds up befriending a regal beaver, King George, and uniting the animals to fight off the plans of a real estate developer.
So it's open season.
Yes.
That's not great.
Why?
Because I don't like open season.
I don't like open season either. We're pissing a lot of people off. A lot of, like, people sent me this. And they're like, we're cooked. It's over. Like, what is this idea?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's stupid.
Yeah. But on paper, it's a water guy and a fire girl, and they fall in love. And she's
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's stupid too, right? And I loved Elemental.
No, that's what I'm saying. Look, listen. WALL-E is about a robot who can only say one word, his own name, and his whole job is to make cubes of garbage. Inside Out is about emotions having emotions inside a girl's brain.
Yeah.
Ratatouille is about a rat that uses a dude's hair as puppet strings to cook food.
Yeah.
You can't look at a Pixar idea and immediately be like, oh, it's over. Pixar's run out of ideas.
You're cooking. We're going to make Pixar's like, we're going to make a superhero movie.
Yeah.
About how it's illegal to be a superhero.
And it was the best animated movie of all time. Yeah, it might suck. Pixar's come out with some sneakers recently, but like, I'm not gonna just say a girl transferring her mind to a robot beaver. Yeah, it sounds stupid, but it's Pixar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like I know how that's gonna go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, WALL-E, on paper, that concept sounds stupid. But then it's this beautiful odyssey.
They might do something like that.
This movie...
Regal Beaver King George.
This movie, King George is going to think she's a real beaver, and then he's going to find out she's not a real beaver, and he's never going to trust her again until the final battle.
So it's Mulan?
And then
Freaking Mulan bangs.
Actually, that's a good point. That is Mulan, and I do like Mulan, but I've seen Mulan already. Like, and how many Pixar movies... I like what you just did, because you did bring up some bad premises on paper.
If at D23 they announced Ratatouille is about a rat controlling a dude with his hair while they cook food, everyone would have been like, oh, we're cooked.
Probably, but like, think about all the other good Pixar movies where it's like
name one.
Nemo. This is
Talking Fish.
Yeah,
Talking Toys.
Talking Fish, where he's lost his son and he's going across the ocean trying to find his son. Really,
they're trying to save the forest.
That's a really great concept on paper. Like,
they're fighting real estate developers. This is going to be climate change propaganda.
Toy Story. There's toys that think they're toys, and there's a toy that doesn't think he's a toy and threatens.
That sounds stupid.
No, that's interesting.
Yes, it does.
No.
I'm not saying it is stupid, but like, people could very easily be like, really? A toy doesn't know he's a toy? That's interesting. You know what I mean? I think it's interesting. I think it's a great movie. I'm just saying I'm not ready to judge this movie based solely on the concept yet.
Coco's a great concept. Coco's a great concept.
Any other D23 news?
Yeah. The Mandalorian and Grogu, we got a trailer. They're very clearly in the Razor Crest. How?
Oh, yeah. When does that happen? Season 1, right?
Season 2, episode 6. My second favorite episode of the show.
They rebuilt it.
No, they didn't. Maybe he got another one, but that's so lame. I love the N1.
You don't like the Razor Crest?
I love the Razor
I love
Crest,
the Razor
but it
Crest
blew
too.
up.
Yeah.
Let's have
no
steaks.
No one stays dead except Uncle Ben.
Yeah, like, this is ridiculous. Let's have steaks in Star Wars for once, please.
Somehow the Razor Crest returned.
Please. But yeah, the trailer actually looked really good. He's on Ice Planet, maybe Hoth, maybe not. There were AT-ATs. Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Kind of fire.
I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Maybe he was there. The Battle of Hoth. Maybe he was watching.
No. Sure.
That timeline could
8
work,
years,
right?
8 years before.
Yeah.
Sure. That timeline's fine.
That'd be kind of crazy.
But that's not what's going on. That wouldn't make sense as to why the Razor Crest is back. It's a prequel. No, because Grogu wasn't there. I just don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Maybe they're using the time stone to...
rebuild the Razor Crest. He just goes...
Oh, I had something else.
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, I don't care.
They're saying it's the Goonies.
Yeah, I don't care.
Have you ever seen the Goonies?
No.
Oh, I saw it when I was a child and it traumatized the hell out of me, so I've never seen it since. I'm like still scared of it a little bit.
Ke Huy Quan's in there, right?
Yes.
He is a voice in an upcoming...
Zootopia 2.
Yeah, and so is somebody else.
What do you think of Zootopia 2?
Yeah, sure.
I just like it felt like every single announcement they made is a sequel.
Well, yeah, because they don't know what the frick to do.
And Inside Out made so much money.
Yeah, and you know, I'm starting to blame us. Fall Guy was great. I know it's not Disney, but it was original.
Fall Guy was great. Elemental was great. But Elemental made money. It grew some legs.
Yeah, it took some time.
It did take some time. I wish that movie made more. Yeah, it's just like we're never going to get an original idea, I guess. I guess.
Furiosa, that's a sequel. Furiosa didn't do well.
No. That was a sequel. You're right. Deadpool Wolverine made a shit ton. It's our fault. It really is. It is.
It's our fault.
Us and our Funko Pops and our hoodies and look at us. Why are we celebrating RDJ returning to the MCU?
I don't like this. You don't like this. Why the frick are we selling
Yeah,
this?
but put your hood on and give me one of these.
Wait, can I?
Yeah. Oh, there's so much aura. So much aura. Dylan, Escape Podcast Fan, is going to make a video. You just gained 1 billion aura. Oh, that was awesome.
Dude, RDJ...
Maybe I'm pumped.
Name one person who has more aura than RDJ, a real person.
No, there have to be.
I don't think you can name one. I'm going to...
No, there has to be somebody with more aura than RDJ.
Go. Who? The Rock? No.
No.
Liam Neeson? No.
Some people would argue...
No. He's got one movie where he has aura.
Who did you think I was going to say? Because this person isn't in movies.
Barack Obama?
No, who were you going to say?
No one. RDJ.
No, but I was going to say a name, and then you were like, no, he's got one movie, but I never said a name.
Oh, I was talking about Liam Neeson.
Oh. Some people would argue after the assassination attempt.
Donald Trump? Oh, frick. You're right.
But only, like...
Yeah, but he, like...
40% of the country would say that.
Yeah, no... There are a lot of people who aren't going to vote for him who, if they're being honest with themselves, no, that was aura. But
and then,
as much as him getting shot in the ear gave him aura, he shoots himself in the foot enough to lose himself aura by being an idiot all the time.
Maybe.
Or just saying stupid stuff or tweeting stuff he doesn't need to.
Yeah, that's not for me to say. There has to be people...
But that was aura.
There have to be people with aura like that.
In real life, who?
Yeah, you're cooking right now. Like, you really are.
It's not LeBron James. No. Sorry.
No, you're right. I love LeBron. He's Captain America, but like...
There's not another... Tom Cruise, maybe he's done some insane stuff.
But Tom Cruise, it's not aura with him.
Well,
he's just the man.
Him sitting on top of the Dubai Tower is aura.
Sure. Is it Gosling? But no, not more than RDJ. This is...
And he does stuff like that all the time. That's just who he is.
I know.
I don't... Yeah, anyways.
He won an Oscar this year.
Aura.
You may be on to something.
Comment below who you think has more aura than RDJ, and I'll tell you you're wrong.
Yeah. You may have sold me. Who's got more aura?
You can't think of anybody.
No.
Not a real person like Darth Vader.
Yeah, Darth Vader has more aura than RDJ. Batman has more aura than RDJ, but who cares? Those are fake people. Like, who's a real person? This is probably the aura moment of the century.
Do you think that moment has more aura than Trump doing this? I don't think it does.
I don't know. I'm not gonna...
You want to delve into the Trump talk, do you?
Not even in the slightest. I really regret bringing it up.
This moment is pretty tough to beat.
But this is so good.
No, yeah, but well, I was gonna say this is more universal, but it's not because so many people don't like him. But like him coming back, if you don't care about Marvel, you don't care about that moment. You know what I mean? People who don't care about politics, if they see a dude get shot, have blood on his face, and then pump the fist and go keep fighting, that's like Lord of the Rings crap. That's Aragorn being like, today is not this day. Oh, they're going to be so mad that I compared Lord of the Rings to Trump.
I know.
I'm making you so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm really uncomfortable, man. I'm getting nervous.
Okay, what's the most aura moment
ever
for a human?
For a human.
Some speeches.
Reagan? If you're talking about assassination attempts, there are some Reagan moments. He literally, a balloon popped right after an assassination attempt of him.
Missed me.
And he just goes, missed me. That's tough as fuck.
And
JFK's got some aura moments, but he also has the ultimate negative aura moment when he got
his head blown off.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. How much negative aura is being assassinated?
He said, oh, Lincoln's got some aura, but again, loses quite a bit of it.
Yeah, Gettysburg Address is aura. But back to Reagan, when he got shot, he had a bullet in him.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't want the reporters to see me. So he he walked into the hospital without any help.
That's aura. But JFK said, we're going to be on the moon in 10 years, and we were on the moon in 2.
I feel like that's astronauts having aura. You know what I mean? One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind is aura.
Aura.
Reagan's Mr. Gorbachev tear down this wall. That was aura.
Sure.
I Have a Dream speech is aura.
Yes.
That's got to be it, right?
That's tough as fuck.
Jesus' resurrection. Sorry.
Sure. Sure. Jesus' resurrection is pretty tough. You know what might be his most aura moment, though? Number one for Jesus?
Turning water into wine.
No, that's tough, though.
You alcoholic.
For your first miracle, doing that is tough as fuck.
Yeah.
His number one aura moment, I think, is... Put your finger in my hand.
Yeah? You don't trust me?
Hard.
You don't trust me? You want to see the...
That's tough.
You want to see the spear in my side?
That's so sick. That's so
Doubting Thomas is like, my bad. My bad, dude.
Doing this, forgive me, Father, they know not what they do is also hard. Jesus has some aura.
He's got some aura, dude. These are all political people. There's no aura.
Batman with prep time may be beating Jesus.
No,
but
he's not.
Batman with prep time never will have more aura than Jesus.
Really?
Dr. Doom's got some aura. Dr. Doom's got a whole lot of aura.
Is there a moment, like Michael Phelps winning that many golds is aura, but is there a moment? I'm trying to think of some sports moments.
Let me tell you the most aura for a sports moment ever. And it's not going to be a sports moment that you know. It's a play called the Minneapolis Miracle. And the Minnesota Vikings, it was the Minnesota Vikings. They've never had any success in their franchise. Like they've had some success. They've never been to a Super Bowl, right? So they've never had real success. And they had a play where there is 2 seconds left on the clock, like something like that, like 5 seconds on the clock. And they're playing a backup quarterback in this game, and if they win this, they go to the NFC Championship, and it's one of the best plays I've ever seen in my life. It happens in Minnesota, so in the stadium, and Stephon Diggs makes this play. The corner that's supposed to tackle him misses. He scores a touchdown with 0 seconds left, and immediately takes off his helmet and just throws it, and he's just given the crowd this look like I'm him. And this is the greatest photo in sports history. Let me find it. But like, that's the most aura moment I've ever seen in sports. Like, it's just, and your play is called the Minnesota Miracle.
It's pretty savage.
Like, yeah, like immediately gets to the end zone. He does the RDJ and then throws this, and then he throws off his helmet, and it's the greatest photo ever.
This?
Yeah.
Just tosses it.
And just has this face like, and by the way, that's like a $20,000 fine.
What about that golf moment with
with Tiger Woods,
where it
with
rolls
the Nike,
and then it Nike and then falls in?
That's more of an aura moment for Nike.
Then he hits one of these?
Yeah, no, that's up there. Tiger Woods may give Robert Downey Jr. a run for his money.
No.
Tiger Woods got some aura.
No.
Really?
Not more than RDJ. Last bit of D23 news is, they announced something that is dear to one of us, perhaps. They announced a live musical for The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman,
Yes.
I didn't know you were, are you excited for that?
No, not really.
Is this musical going to be on Broadway? Is it going to New York?
Whoa!
Okay.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
That was a good Hugh Jackman impression.
Yeah, you like that?
That was nice.
Whoa! I'm going to wear this. I don't know where it's debuting.
Okay.
New York, London.
Yeah.
I'm putting this on and I'm flying.
Yeah, you're going no matter what.
I'm going.
We got to see if we could get invited to some kind of opening night or something. You have to. You're literally Mr. Avengers followed by The Greatest Showman.
Get me in there. Please. I'll do anything. I'll learn trapeze. I'll ride an elephant.
Would you be in it?
Sure. I'll make a cameo.
Yeah.
What would I be? I'll be one of the racists that really dislikes the trapeze people and throws stuff at them.
Sure.
I'll be one of the guys that protests and is like, freaks.
Would you be upset with me if the first time I ever saw The Greatest Showman was the stage play? I still have never seen The Greatest Showman, no. What? I didn't know you didn't know this. You have to have known this. I've definitely said this before.
Yeah, but what?
You hadn't seen plenty of my favorite movies, and we've watched them throughout the 2 years that we've had the podcast. We just haven't gotten around to Greatest Showman.
Because I love you. I watched the whole trilogy about stupid monkeys.
Andrew.
You can't watch Hugh Jackman.
I'll get around to it.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Okay.
I'm not doing any more episodes.
All right. I didn't know you didn't know that, or didn't remember that, or whatever it is.
I did not.
That's really funny.
Ladies and gents.
They should cast you as P.T. Barnum.
Oh, yeah.
You're Phineas Taylor.
Nah, much more, the other one.
Zac Efron?
Yeah.
Because you're hot?
This is the great... Dude, when he slides in at the end.
Okay, we have to do this, because you look so sexy in this outfit that we're just doing this right now. I told you before we started filming this episode that there's something I wanted to talk to you about. This is what it is. You ready? You and I got into a massive argument at Disney the other day. And there wasn't screaming, but there was some yelling. It seemed that you were upset with me. I didn't feel that I was really upset with you, but I think we upset each other at least a little bit with some of the things that we said. It was talking about your game and you talking to women.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people were bullying you because they agreed with my advice on a certain situation that the patrons will know about upgrading a Disney Pass.
Yeah, and how that didn't work.
And it didn't work, but everybody agreed that it didn't work because
I added one thing to it that's not true.
You pussied out at the end. And
I thought you were talking about the Star Wars argument. We got into two.
What was the Star Wars argument?
Brick for brick.
That was hilarious. This is why we need somebody following us at all times, because they would love the Star Wars argument.
Yeah.
We were just disagreeing on the geography of Batu, Hollywood Studios versus Disneyland.
How similar they were.
It was a little obnoxious.
Yeah, it was.
But this is, we were yelling at each other about women and you said something along the lines of, I have all the experience because I've been with my girlfriend for 6 years.
Yeah.
And I said something.
You bagged 1 for 1, but it's been 6 years.
And I said something along the lines of, I'm exactly what you want. And you had to refrain from saying something, which I imagine would have been crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what you were considering saying at all.
It was really mean.
But I don't know if you brought it up, but I think you did, where you've got women in your DMs, this and that. You definitely have game. But here's my argument.
Clearly.
Here's my argument as to why you should trust me maybe a little bit more in terms of my game, even if you feel like I've been dormant for 6 years. Even though I don't think that, because I still always have to, you got to keep a woman impressed.
Sure.
But here's my number one argument. You ready? And I think you'll buy this. You're hot. I've never been hot in my life.
I am not hot.
You're hot as right now.
No. I think I have always been average at best until the haircut, and then the haircut people liked.
Maybe I will give you that you've been average all your life, but you have to be good looking in some capacity to where you dress like an 8-year-old. You've dressed like an 8-year-old. Right now you're dressed like a 9-year-old.
I'm dressed like
The Greatest Showman.
The ringmaster. Okay.
All your life you've dressed like an 8-year-old in this Spider-Man hoodie, the same pair of jeans and the same pair of shoes, and that same terrible haircut all your life, that you had to be at least somewhat handsome to...
Or it's my game.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you just proved my point.
So.
You just proved my point.
Well, you're hot now, so it doesn't matter.
No, I'm not.
You are extremely hot now. Everybody thinks you're hot now. So that's my number one argument. I've never been hot. I've always had to rely on my bars.
Watch this, ready? I just got 5 more DMs. All right, so we're going to do a couple movie reviews real quick.
Yes.
Obviously, the big one is Alien Romulus that comes out today or tomorrow.
Yes.
And we saw that, and we're very excited to review that. Beforehand, do you want to talk about Trap?
Yeah, so as I said on the podcast last week, my favorite movie of the year, as of now. Anyway, I loved Trap with all my heart, and I was talking to you about it, and you were like, you felt differently.
Yeah, so. It was like bottom 7 of the year for me.
Fascinating. So,
yeah.
So let's talk about real quick. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but it is funny because I love Trap. I gave it a 9 out of 10. What would you give it?
I walked in
thinking you were going to love it.
Right, but by the way you described it, I was like, that sounds like something I'm going to really like. Yeah. And I will say that the second half of it, the last act or two was better to me than the first half.
Yeah.
For me, I'd give it like a 5.
Wow, yeah, which is very low for
5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the second half did save it quite a bit.
But for you, that's like a 2 or 3.
Yeah,
like on my scale. Like that's really low. Yeah. So I just like some of the things we talked about in the car, but they didn't see that. So what are some of your main issues?
Yeah, so none of these really bothered you. I mean, the main one is like the script to me is laughable.
Yeah.
Like everyone I saw it with, like we were like looking at each other, like rolling our eyes at like how stunted the script was. It seemed AI generated, and I don't like using that insult lightly. But it was like, I'm going to pick up this cup. Okay, pick up the cup. That's how it felt to me the whole movie. And then also the amount of times that like, yeah, this didn't bother you. I can't believe this didn't bother you. That like I felt like I wasn't watching a movie. I was just watching concert footage. It was not helping the story. I understand that like we got to see her on stage and it helps set the scene and all that. But like there were just like scenes where like the guy was like looking around and then it would show her on screen for like 30 seconds and then it would go back. And that went on for like 5 minutes. And it was like we talked beforehand about how people were complaining that this was
Nepo Baby,
and like it was a big advertisement
for her
his
music career.
And I wasn't throwing stones. Now I kind of want to throw stones because like it seemed like the first half of the movie was like, oh, we're having these other scenes just so we can get back to this scene to show as much of this concert as possible. And like this isn't moving the story forward literally at all. And they do it like 7 times and it's like 5 minutes long. It's like not necessary. So those were 2 big cons. And then I just didn't care about any of the characters, any of the dynamics. Not really a spoiler, but the scene where he finally kind of confronts her and says the carbon monoxide and kind of gives that speech. That's the first time where I kind of like leaned forward, and then I was kind of leaned forward for the rest of the movie a little bit. But those are my 2 main cons.
So for the script, for me, it doesn't bother me the dialogue at all. In fact, some of the scenes that you're talking about where the lines are, "I'm going to put down this cup," okay, put down this cup. I think it adds to the stress of the scene completely. Like it's uneasy dialogue because he's uneasy and you know why he's uneasy, and she's uneasy because he's acting weird in her eyes. Like I think that's interesting. And I don't know how many concerts or public outings you've been with like I don't want to say overprotective parent or single parent. I don't know how you would say it, but I feel like any time I was in public with my mother until I was the age of 15, 16, 17, 18 even, it felt like, okay, you're going to check in with me. Remember, check in with me at 8. And I'm like, okay, Mom, I'll check in with you at 8. Like we're at a public fair or something. I feel like that's very commonplace, at least in my experience.
But you can write the script and do that without it feeling so stunted. And it wasn't just the daughter and like him talking to the worker that he kind of like manipulated to go back and get the shirt. Every time either of them talked, it was like, I'm going to go back with you to get the shirt. You want to come back to get the shirt? Let's go get the shirt. It was like, just every interaction with everyone was like.
Yeah, but again, I feel like that's like, because we're understanding like his plan. I don't know. I liked it. I understand.
Show, don't tell. Like this is Madam Web level dialogue.
Oh, I strongly disagree with that.
But Madam Web was much more fun to laugh at.
I strongly disagree with that. I don't know. I felt the stress of the scenes like that.
No, I did not get stressed.
The dialogue didn't bother me I didn't feel, not once did I feel about that way in the dialogue. The thing about the concert is something we already discussed when we talked about it earlier, but I loved the music. So I loved her concert. Literally,
the music's good.
Every time they showed the concert, I turned to Rachel and I turned to each other, and we were like, I want to go to a Lady Raven concert. This music's awesome. And frankly, sorry to burst, I don't want to burst anybody, not to burst your bubble because you just said the music is good. Frankly, it's like the #1 album I've been listening to since I've seen the movie. I fucking love the music. So like,
yeah, the music, I don't have a problem with the music.
Like, yeah, I really enjoyed those scenes. So I understand that taking you out of the movie, but for me, it did the opposite effect. It made me enjoy the movie more because I enjoyed the concert so much.
Yeah, I literally just had the thought, like I said to Angel, I was like, when they were showing it again, I was like, are we watching a movie or a concert?
Yeah,
like
it's
it's just not. And another thing, maybe one of the reasons I like the second half of the movie more than the first half is because there is nothing cool that happens in the first half that is not in the trailer. All his little conniving to try and get people.
See the trailer.
I didn't try to watch many of the trailers. I only saw one, but like him doing the thing to make the restaurant explode.
That's in the trailer?
That's in the trailer.
Oh.
What else did he do? There was like one or two.
My favorite scene.
The pushing her down the stairs.
That was in the trailer?
I'm pretty sure that was in the trailer.
My favorite scene, now you're going to tell me this is in the trailer, and that's going to disappoint me quite a bit. My favorite scene is when he walks into the crowd of security guards.
That's in the trailer.
Damn.
Him on the roof.
Because that scene is awesome. The scene with the security guards is awesome, where he grabs the fucking walkie-talkie and then he's walking out and his face, he's like, sorry guys, and then, so you're telling me when he's like, hey, coffee, like where do you keep the sweetener? And then he's like, oh yeah, no problem, that's in the trailer?
Not that dialogue, but him walking through the thing and going from.
That's in the trailer?
That's in the trailer. Fuck. But nothing outside of the concert is in the trailer, so everything that happens after the concert is brand new and you don't see coming.
Well, everything leaving the concert is where the movie lost Rachel. Like
Complete opposite for me,
Rachel loved everything at the concert, and then like the movie lost her when they left the concert. And the movie didn't lose me when they left the concert. It lost me a little bit, but I love the ending. I love the ending that this guy is just nuts. That he's gonna keep going no matter what. With the bicycle, we're not gonna. We've kind of spoiled the whole movie at this point, but like,
yeah, who cares? Like, yeah,
the bicycle scene is awesome. I was like, this guy is a loon. I loved that ending.
Yeah, I don't know. As soon as he did that, I just kind of knew what was happening. But
yeah.
But the first thing someone said to me after this was like, oh no, I think Theo said this. He was like, how crazy to think, because it basically sets up potential for a sequel. It was like, how crazy to add that scene at the end to think this would be good enough that we would want a sequel. That's what someone said to me.
Brutal. I would love a Trap sequel, but I don't think it's going to happen. But like, I don't think of it as like, oh, this is potential for a sequel. I look at it as this guy's never going to stop. And I love that.
Yeah. Again, like once he had that conversation with her that I mentioned and the getting out of the concert, and it was a little repetitive at parts, how he's kind of, I loved his dynamic with Lady Raven.
Yeah.
You didn't like her acting, but like I thought I thought she was going to turn out to be the heroine, and then she kind of just disappears and is not in the last 20 minutes of the movie, which I thought sucked because I wanted to see them go at it a little bit more. But yeah, no, there were good parts to it. The first half just really took me out.
That sucks. Oh. On to la creme de la creme.
Sure. Bless you.
Thank you. Here we go.
I thought it was just like a dramatic pause. Like
nope,
like,
sorry.
Oh, yeah, let's rub it in. Good. No, absolutely not.
Shall we review Alien Romulus?
We shall.
Here are our scores for Alien Romulus out of 10. 3, 2, 1.
9.
For the second time in the history of this podcast, I am giving a movie a 10 out of 10. Now, this movie isn't perfect. It's probably closer to like a 9.7. But the third act floored me so much that like I'm just like, you've earned it. So, I think Alien Romulus is the highest highs of a movie that I've seen in years. Like I can't, like when I think the highs of Alien Romulus surpass that of the last couple favorites of mine in the last couple years of favorite movies.
So there's a lot of good to talk about, and
yes.
we'll spoiler alert when
we get to spoilers. Yes.
So yeah, 9 out of 10.
Yes.
3 things that I like to say about it. obviously, in a lot of these movies, someone complained about this to me. I was like, oh, well, an alien doesn't show up until like 40, 50 minutes into the movie. It's like every alien, every monster movie is like that. You don't get Godzilla for the first one.
Sure.
That didn't bother me because the world they set up and the characters that they set up were actually compelling and actually interesting. It starts on this world that's like a mining thing and everyone's poor and trying to get off the planet and everything. And like, I just felt trapped watching them, and they did a great job with that. And so that, and then all the scenes with the monsters, it wasn't just, oh, I'm in a room with a xenomorph. It was, I'm in a room that's half filled with water and facehuggers, or we have to be quiet, or we have to do this to the room to be able to go through it. They were creative with the scenes. It wasn't just human monster in a room. They were creative with it. I love that. And then, like you said, the third act is amazing, and it does the alien thing where you think the movie's over and then it's not, and then you get one of the best jump scares of all time, and you get some crazy stuff.
One of the best jump scares of all time, right? Like, no question. I can think of one off the top of my head where I could say, yeah, that's in competition, which is the Haunting of Hill House one. Otherwise, I can't think of a jump scare better than that one.
Yeah, it's definitely top 3 that I can remember right now.
I was floored.
So I want to, where are our facehuggers?
Right here.
I want to make it clear as well, and I don't know if he's going to admit it, but we are somewhat slightly biased, and I want to say why. We saw this at an amazing event. We had an early screening. We had live actors. There were people with facehuggers on the floor and in the seats of the theaters. The guy who introduced the movie had the thing burst through his chest, and then we also watched it in 4DX. So if you have a 4DX theater, I highly recommend. It made it so much fun. And we were also surrounded by friends. We had Chris and Soups and Jose and Dylan and Riz and Zach, and all of us were there. So when the reason you're saying the highs are high is because we had actors there. We were hyped before the movie. When the guy introduced the movie, started coughing, took some sips of water, thing burst through his chest. We were all screaming, and then the lights went out to start the movie. We were like, what a way to start a movie. And then the 4DX things are poking us in the back and spraying water on us, and we're surrounded by friends who are screaming at everything. So I'm trying to keep that in mind when we think about the highs and when we think about the positives. Regardless of any of that, I still think it's amazing. Like, I think we're competent enough to know it's still amazing regardless of that. But we are perhaps a little biased. I am seeing it again tomorrow, and I cannot wait.
Yes, neither can I. So, all that being said, which I agree with everything you just said, I don't know, everything about Alien Romulus felt like an Alien movie for me. I really like the original 2. I'm not as low or high on Prometheus or Covenant that I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's so artsy and we love Prometheus and we love Covenant. And then there are people that hate Prometheus and hate Covenant. I'm not. I'm in the middle on both of them. I think they're fine movies.
So you think Alien Romulus is the best Alien movie?
I think Alien Romulus is the best Alien movie.
And you also think it's the best movie of the year?
I think it's clearly the best movie of the year. I want to get to the best movie of the year talk with you in a minute. Let me just say that the thing about Alien Romulus that I love so much, first of all, I love Alien, but I think it has aged a little bit poorly.
Sure.
And I love Aliens, but I like the sci-fi horror genre of Alien better than it's just an action movie, but we're killing things that are scary in Aliens.
Sure.
Aliens is much closer to Terminator 2 than it is to the original Alien in terms of like tone and feel as a movie, even though it's literally a sequel. I love Alien so much, it's just a little bit aged for me, and nothing about this movie is dated. It looks incredible. There's one questionable CGI moment, which we will get to in spoilers, which is a big problem for a lot of people, and we'll get to that in spoilers. But so all the xenomorphs look fucking incredible. The face huggers, everything looks amazing in this movie, which is a big plus for me. The jump scares are using today's technology. One of my favorite jump scares of all time is in the original Alien movie. They're like, it's coming right at you, it's coming right at you. And then you turn and then it like lights up, but like you see it's a guy in a suit. Like it clearly looks like it literally looks like the guy's doing jazz hands when it comes out and pops out, even though it still makes you jump. Like there's none of that in this movie. And in my opinion, the Alien franchise is at its truly best when at its core it is strongly an allegory for sexual violence. That's what these movies are. The xenomorph is clearly very phallic. We all know what this is. Like, we all know, they literally impregnate you. That's what's so scary about a xenomorph is, and the face huggers and all that, is they need us, our bodies, they need to impregnate us, they need to have sex with us to survive. So it's literally like it's in there, like how we feel, how human beings are with sex. Like, that's why xenomorphs are so scary, on top of their hideous and horrible, terrible, terrifying design. And I think Alien Romulus does the best I've ever seen this franchise at portraying sexual violence in the third act. With the thing that happens in the third act, I think that is so brilliant, so creative, that's where I was like, what, the high of seeing that was higher than anything I felt in Spider-Verse. And that's just how I feel. I was like, that is exactly what you need to do with this franchise. And it's new.
How much are you going to admit that it was because people were screaming around you and you were in 4DX and the event and you got to see it early? If you were in a theater that didn't move and didn't have actors beforehand and you were in there by yourself, this could potentially be an 8 or a 9 for you.
Yeah, like, well, first of all, like, I think that's extremely rude to me. Like, I'm like tremendously offended that you said that way. Just because, like, I don't know, that feels like you're dumbing down my criticism. I've sat with this movie for like 5 days now. Like it's
that was a question.
Like, it's not like, you know, like maybe out of the theater, our reactions was maybe more that and like all that. But like, yeah, I'm offended that you would say that like, just because you know how it is behind the scenes and you know how often people say things like that to us. And
what?
I just like, yeah,
what?
Yeah, I don't like, what?
Say that one to me again.
What?
Say that one to me again.
You know how it is behind the scenes. You know how much criticism we get no matter what opinion we put out.
What does that have to do with what I just said?
Because you are accusing me of what everybody else accuses us of.
Of being shills and taking money to review movies?
No, you went to this event, so of course you liked it more than everybody else.
Yeah, I'm not saying just, people say that because we just went to an early screening. I'm being specific about the highs, the high that you just said, higher than anything in Spider-Verse. You're surrounded by friends who are screaming. That is something that can definitely affect a person. That's not me being rude. That's me asking a question.
No,
yeah, I said it as a statement, but I asked.
No, I'm not giving that to you.
How much... Are you willing to admit that?
And I didn't want to bring this up because we went to the event, but now I'm going to bring it up. I hated 4DX. I had to get up multiple times.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it. I hated the experience. I kept turning off the water. It kept still spraying you. You could turn off the water and it still sprays you. One of the worst cinema experiences of my life is I saw Jurassic World Dominion in 4DX and I threw up after. It was awful. So constantly throughout the movie, I had to get up because I was so affected by the 4DX. So the 4DX didn't affect me at all.
Sure.
Seeing a movie with friends, sure, can affect my experience, but I'm looking forward to seeing this movie alone. If I feel worse about seeing this movie alone, maybe I'll feel differently, but frankly, sometimes I enjoy movies more when they're alone or in a smaller group. And there were multiple times that people were screaming around me that I was bothered by it because I was like, shut the fuck up, we're in a movie theater, but I guess this is this, so I'll just have to wait. This is why I wanted to go to the premiere so bad, and that I was texting you behind the scenes. I was like, hey, ask, you know, if we can maybe go to the premiere. And I was considering flying back from my trip to visit my friend for his birthday to go because I wanted to see this movie as soon as possible, which was the premiere on Monday, because I wanted to see it as soon as possible in a regular theater because I had such a bad experience in the 4DX, which I didn't want to say that because we went to this event and 4DX was somehow sponsored. I think 4DX was a big sponsor of it or something.
Yeah,
so I didn't want to say that and encourage you guys to not do 4DX. But if you have motion sickness at all, do not go see this movie in 4DX. Don't see any movie in 4DX.
Oh, well, yeah.
You will throw up. So, like, no, that didn't affect it at all. And there were multiple times where people were screaming where I was annoyed. And there were multiple times where Chris, sitting right next to me, who love him to death, Chris is my guy, but he would just say something out loud because other people were talking. So other people were like, oh, so he just felt the need to be like, I love that, like full volume. And I was annoyed by that. So
yeah, but at the same time, you came out and said that was the best event you've ever been to.
It's the best event I've ever been to.
Okay.
There's no question about it. But I don't know.
Me asking
to skew, I'm such a big honesty guy. Like I don't I hate it. I hate the idea of ever lying to y'all. That it's
I wasn't saying you were lying. I'm not saying my score is lying either, but I can also say that my experience with it might up my score of it even slightly.
Yeah,
and that's not me saying that you're a shill or I'm comparative to people that attack us with hate online.
Yeah, I just...
and I was also asking. I made that clear.
Yeah, I just... No.
All those are great reasons for why it wouldn't have affected you. It was a question.
Yeah, no, I just didn't like that question, but it's okay. I'm not going to get over that, but it's okay. Like it's fine. You know, what are you going to do? I now wanted to move on. I've been doing a lot of talking. Like, so is this your favorite movie of the year? Because obviously it's mine, but I haven't seen Dune 2.
Yeah, so it's
Alien Romulus.
It's tough for me to put it. I mean, Dune 2 is amazing. And I think most people that are Dune 2 writers are not going to put this movie above it. I currently have it as the number 1 on my list of movies this year, with Dune 2 being in second.
Yes.
There are things that are better about Dune 2, sure, but like you said, like the highs in this movie, like I didn't have more fun with. I had way more fun with this movie than I did with Dune.
Yeah, interesting.
Like there are times where you have fun with Dune. And like you don't necessarily have to have fun with movies, but like there were times where I was bored in Dune. I was like, this is kind of whatever. I don't think there was a time where I was like that in Alien Romulus. You know what I mean?
Yes, there is a little moment in the middle that kind of lost me, and I was like, oh no, this is becoming this way. But then at the end, with one of our favorite scenes that we talked about outside, that we feel like they use a force of nature very creatively. Yeah. That is why it's slower in the middle. And I was like...
Oh, yeah, and that didn't bother me. Yeah, but
I was like, oh, they're losing me here. But then it's like Chekhov's gun. It's like, oh, this was in there. Oh, this all comes together to be this perfect finale. Like that's... I think that this movie has the awesome action moments from Aliens and like the sci-fi horror of Alien, and the best thing about the franchise, the sexual violence at its core. It's just...
Yeah, I think everyone should go see it. And yeah, I mean, to your point, I would suggest if you like 4DX or have ever done it, this is a great one to see in 4DX, but don't if you have motion sickness.
There's also a scene where the room is smoky in the movie, so they just shot smoke into our theater, and I just couldn't see the screen.
Yeah, I heard y'all complaining about that behind me. It didn't bother me that much because there was still smoke on this, so it just looked cool to me. But it was covering a bit. Oh, there was a time where you know this.
This is a great story.
I was freaking. I'll tell it in spoilers when it happens exactly. There's a time when something happens.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning forward like this, and my eyes are like wide open, and I'm telling you, brother, I got pepper sprayed. The water just shot directly into my cornea. It was so painful, and like I was like, ah. And the guy next to me was like, "Are you good?" I was like, "I can't see." I got maced by 4DX, but yeah, it was worth it.
So as of right now, Alien Romulus is your favorite movie of the year. Let's talk about some of your favorites of the last couple years. Is Alien Romulus better than your favorite movie of last year, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
No.
I agree with that. I think Spider-Verse is better. Do you think Alien Romulus is better than one of your favorites of last year, Dungeons and Dragons?
Ooh. Probably. I think it's close. Like I said, I do want to see it again. I want to see it in a normal theater. I'm still going with friends. I'm going with Josh Van Battenberg in a huge group.
That's our friend Josh. We'll call him Josh.
We'll call him Josh. Yeah. And it's opening night, so it'll still be an experience. But we've said this before. Like second viewings really help me.
Yes.
So I do want to see it again. Right now, part of my little heart wants to say Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is funnier and more fun.
Yeah.
But Alien Romulus is more of a spectacle and jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's tough.
So
what about you? You like this better.
I clearly like it better than Dungeons and Dragons, but I didn't love Dungeons and Dragons nearly as much as you did. I think I like this movie better than every movie of last year other than Spider-Verse, but I think I clearly like Spider-Verse better than this. Now, your
only by 0.3.
Yeah. Your second favorite movie of last year, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or Alien Romulus? Now that's a franchise you've spent 10 years with. You love those characters so much. It was such a beautiful send-off for some of those characters. James Gunn. It's hilarious. It's emotional. Nobody's going to fault you if you prefer Guardians.
I need to see it again. But I might say Alien Romulus.
Wow.
Yeah.
No problem. And I just want your current thoughts. Like, you don't need to press it. You don't know. Yeah, but there you go. I'm thrilled to hear that. How about one of our favorites, my favorite of the year before, one of your favorites, Avatar: The Way of Water or Alien Romulus?
Frick.
Those is tough for me. That is really tough for me. That is tough.
Because again,
I think Avatar: Way of Water is like a 9.7. Yeah.
Yeah, Way of Water is...
It's long, though.
It's longer, right? So there are more moments where it's like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
How much sea urchins do we need to be
Right,
looking at?
right, yeah. So there are stretches of Way of Water that are not as good, but that also kind of adds to the experience and the grandioseness
You want to talk about a third act.
But if you're talking about succinct, tight, just having fun, just give me this. That's what I like from movies, you know what I mean? Alien Romulus has it. So that might be a tie. That's tough.
Solid.
What do you, if you had to pick? Are you picking?
As of right now, I'm picking Alien Romulus just because my issue with Alien Romulus that we'll get to in spoilers, I feel like it's fixed by its own movie when Avatar: The Way of Water is too long. It is just too long. It's just...
Yeah, but for a movie that long, for me to see it multiple times in theaters, like
wow, you saw it multiple times.
I saw it at least twice, maybe 3 times.
Wow. Oh, I didn't. I've only seen it once.
I saw it in LA, and then I went home to Alabama, and I took my mom and somebody else, and I was like, "You got to watch this. It's really good."
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Yep.
Alien Romulus or Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I knew that was coming.
That's not. Yeah.
I have to see them both again for me to give you that. But Everything
and you
Everywhere.
don't want to watch Everything Everywhere.
I don't think I ever want to watch it again because I had such a great experience the first time I saw it. So I've only seen that movie once. But I love that movie, and I could quote it, and like it's got unbelievable scenes. Like,
Everything?
Yeah, Everything Everywhere is just phenomenal. And then just the final one I bring up, and I know that this is going to be the toughest one for you to say because you obviously had such a great experience with this movie as well. Alien Romulus or it's either Alien Romulus or this for your favorite movie of the year, Borderlands.
I was like, what the frick are you about to say? Yeah, it's close.
It's so close.
It's so close. Like the cinematography and the character development and the CGI. The CGI. Borderlands probably has better CGI, so it's tough. God, I feel uncomfortable.
And the character work.
The character work.
And the comedy. I mean, compared
Just
with the
blew me
drama
away.
as well. I mean, I cried multiple times in Borderlands.
Yeah, I was bawling my eyes out.
I had the privilege, I don't know if you know this, they definitely don't know this, I had the privilege of seeing Borderlands twice in 2 days.
Yeah,
I got to see it at the world premiere.
Yeah, you did.
One of the greatest experiences of my life. And then I got to see it the very next day at an early screening. I mean, just movie of the year, right? Borderlands? This is a joke. Do not go see Borderlands. That was all sarcastic.
What are you talking about? Go see it in 4DX.
It's the worst movie of the year. We'll get to that in December or January. Yeah. So yeah, Alien Romulus is pretty freaking good. Last thing I want to say, I've seen a lot of people. That's a spoiler thing. You want to go to spoilers? We'll be quick.
Are we okay?
Yeah, of course. I just didn't like that.
Do you understand what I was saying, though?
I do. I just felt that...
Do you see the difference between what I think people say online about us and you and what I was trying to ask? Like, I know I said it as a statement, but, like,
yes,
I started it as a question.
Yes, but, like, you understand that you don't run the TikTok or Twitter, and I know you go on there, but it's all I see every day. It's like, so...
Well, we can't win. Like,
that stuff
I know.
really strikes a nerve with me.
I get it.
I'm sorry that I
snapped
at you.
No, I apologize. I did not mean to strike a nerve. I apologize.
Like, that, since I posted that tweet, which should very well follow us on X if you aren't already, you get sometimes early reviews from us.
Mm-hmm.
Like
and
Alien Romulus. And Letterboxd. But that like... Every single negative comment in response to my Alien Romulus review is exactly that. So I've been seeing that a million times in the last week.
Yeah, but those people are saying...
that we got paid.
Yeah, like, and you're trying to make Disney happy.
Yeah.
Like, I was saying the experience with your friends. That's what I was talking about.
I know. But...
I wasn't saying you were being dishonest.
But what are movies if they're not greatest experiences with our friends?
I agree. I'm the one that always says scores are always affected by... the experience that you have with them as well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but I'm admitting that might affect my score a little bit.
Yeah. No, sure. Greatest event I've ever been to. I will say that till the day. I'm assuming.
That's why I was asking, because as soon as you came out, you said that.
No, I will never not say that. That event. I mean, there were face huggers in the audience.
No, it was awesome.
The doorstop. The thing holding up a door
was a
human that was laying there with a face hugger attached to it that was breathing.
And they had face hugger remote controls crawling around on the floor.
Chasing after us. That was awesome. And again, the guy that introduced the movie. We worked really hard on this film.
And then you don't think he's just like, he just says one more thing.
And then he goes, hold on.
Takes a sip of water, takes another sip of water, and then...
And he starts foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
That video
is on our Twitter, by the way. And then as he's falling to his knees and dying, the lights go out.
Dim, the movie starts.
And the movie starts. And we were all like, Wah! That is our Alien Romulus review. Spoilers we will put on the Patreon. The Patreon. I have a Patreon. I have a Patreon contact. Like, I have their email and stuff, and I asked them the correct pronunciation.
Did you? Okay. All right. The Patreon.
Thank you. The spoilers will be on the Patreon.
Okay.
So go over there and check that out.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. We love you.